This video is a little bit different from the other ones in that it's more of an illustrative video than an instructional video. And it is based around the idea that we can use images to communicate ideas, just as well as formulas and equations and all that good stuff. So there's three factors to consider from the kinetic perspective in terms of whether or not our action is going to work. That's the speed, the orientation, and the availability. So if your molecules are moving fast enough, that helps. If they're lined up properly, that also helps. And of course, it helps for your molecules to actually exist. So as an exercise, I decided that I would actually just draw cartoons to kind of demonstrate some of the ideas around speed, orientation, and availability. So the first one up is a cartoon to show, well, what happens if you don't have enough speed. So hopefully you guys will be able to guess what it is I'm trying to draw here. And so we've got, hopefully you're figuring out that this is some kind of turtle. So we've got our turtle guy here, and we're going to have him with his friend. So here's our turtle. And we're going to have his friend, Mr. Snail. Sad looking little snail there. He's kind of messed up. And so they say, you know what? Let's catch a rabbit. So now, you might imagine this isn't going to work out too well. The criteria has been set. They need to catch a rabbit. That's going to be a function of speed. Well, if they don't have enough speed, Mr. Rabbit is here. He's got a fuzzy tail, maybe some legs, and he's moving real fast. So he says, "Can't catch me." So this doesn't work out too well because, well, he's happy because he's getting away. So if you don't have enough speed, then the reaction, in this case catching the rabbit, it's not going to work out. So these guys don't get the job done. So that's it for speed. Now if we talk about orientation, and I wanted to draw a cartoon, let's make some triangle folk. So we've got a few triangle guys. And they all get together and they say, hey, let's make squares. So it's possible to use triangles and draw squares out of them, right? Well, in order for that to work, they've got to line up correctly. So a triangle guy here and his friend here, and, well, that didn't work out. Then we get these two triangle guys. And it does work out. And so this is a cartoon example of orientation, right? These guys didn't line up right, so you don't get what you want. And making squares is the successful product of that orientation reaction. So that's orientation. Now availability. There's lots of different things we can do here. So let's say we've got a stretch SUV sitting on something, right? And it's got a price tag associated with it. Lots of money, right? Well, if the success state, successful reaction is actually buying this thing, then what you're going to need is this guy. And he's got a big sack of money, right? So Mr. Moneybags here, you know, he's all happy because I can afford that. He's Mr. 1%. And so this is an example of availability. The thing that determines whether or not you can even make that happen is if you have lots of money. And because he has lots of money available, I mean, he's walking around with a sack of it, then he can afford it, and that's a successful state. So this is just a special case of me using something that's a little less formal and a little more fun to show off how you can do some conceptual work in terms of thinking about kinetics.